My parents are in their 60s, and when your parents hit their 60s, just so you know, you kind of realize that you go, all right, I'm in charge of this family now, you know? They don't give it up. They don't offer it away. They just start doing stuff that you're like, you know. We went to the store the other day, and we walked back to the car. We were in the store for an hour. We walked back. The driver's side door is wide open. He drove, opened the door to go inside, and just kept walking. He's been driving for 50 years. And I know cars are getting crazy, but one thing that stayed all these 50 years is you got to open and shut that front door. My dad wore my mom's pants to a funeral. That was the day that I was like, look, we can't listen to this guy no more, you know? We got to go get him. He doesn't know what's happening. It usually starts happening when you start doing the holidays at your house instead of your parents' house. That's when it starts happening. And so my parents, once we did that, they downsized into a 2-bedroom townhome. So they still wanted to do Thanksgiving at their house, but they don't have the room for us. There's like 20 of us. It's like a college kid being like, do you want to do Christmas in my dorm room? There's a table for 4, and then they have to put a train of TV trays and nightstands that just weaves down this hallway. I mean, you're sitting on stairs. We made the kids go eat in the car. We just go back and they can't even eat inside. My mom didn't have ketchup. I was like, everybody just has ketchup. It just comes in houses. If I went to some alcoholic's house, he would have ketchup. His whole family would be gone. But I would say, do you have ketchup? He'd be like, I'm not that gone, man. On a sadder note of sorts, we had to put our dog down recently. And it's a tough thing to do, you know. Nothing was wrong with her. I'm just really busy right now. And she was very sick. That was a joke, all right? That was a joke. She would have loved that joke, so don't you worry about it. That's the type of humor she had. She was a rescue. It's not your labradoodle humor, all right? A little darker. She was a wonderful dog. We loved her, and her name was Annie. And the reason we got her was my sister worked at a vet, and people do put dogs down for no reason. So if someone brought a dog in that was fine, they just didn't want it. My sister couldn't do it, so she would walk the dog back and then just steal the dog. I don't know the laws on all that, but I'm sure now people are finding out that their dog's still alive right now. So we got Annie. Annie was getting put down. She was a hunting dog, and she was terrible at it. And she was bred to be a hunting dog, and she was just like a misfit toy that just didn't do it. She got shot once, and that's because the guy, he would be like doing target practice, and then she'd just walk in front of the targets, and he would like hit her. He's like, what are you doing? And she's like, what are you doing? She had no awareness about her, like the senses that dogs have. We had turkeys in our backyard once, and I let her out to go chase these turkeys. You know, retired hunting dog, figured that's fun. And we have a very normal backyard. It's not Yellowstone Park. You can see all of it at all times. Like push her out, and she just pees and then comes back in the house. Never sees the turkeys. And I'm just looking at her like, you didn't feel anything? Like nothing was going? Like I sensed it as a human on the couch. I felt there was turkeys outside. You want to take just one lap around, see if... The guy used her a lot for duck hunting. So he would shoot a duck. She's supposed to run and go get it and then bring it back. So what I like to picture is he shoots the duck. She runs out, comes back, no duck. And she's like, I don't even know what we're doing. All right, I did not. A million things flew in the air when you shot that gun. And I'm supposed to know which one you hit. And the guy's just looking at her. And then she's like, you're not even the guy that I came out here with. Do you see, is there another guy out here by any chance? I think it's because I'm peeing so much longer. And I'm not used to this new old rhythm yet. Because in your 40s, there's a lot of false stops. You learn pretty quick to be like, let's hang back, let's let traffic thin out a little bit. I watch young people come and go. I'm like, tell my family I'm okay. I was in San Francisco, and I bet there's a bunch of fun coffee places, and I live in my dumb world that I just want this one little drink. So I go into a Starbucks, and I get to the front, and I was like, I'll take an iced coffee with cream. She goes, with cream? I go with cream. And then she goes, iced coffee with cream? I go, iced coffee with cream. She goes, with cream? I go with cream. And she said it one more time. She said, so iced coffee with cream? And at that point, I should have said, what's going on right now? Where are you at in your head? Because I feel like we're in two different places. But I was nervous, and there was people behind me, and I was like, cream or no cream? Honestly, I'll give you $20 if you let me leave right now. I cannot, this is the most I can talk about this. I don't even know what's happening anymore. So I paid, I go stand in line, you know, where you gotta wait for your drink. There's like 5 of us waiting for our drinks. So she puts the iced coffee up there first, no cream, and I was like, whatever. I'll just do it myself, you know? Like, I don't like doing it myself, but I was like, all right, I'll just do it. So before I could get it, she's walked back with a can of whipped cream, and she's shaking it. And I'm just looking at it, like, thinking that's someone else's. I'm like, someone's getting whipped cream. That's fun. One of you guys are getting whipped cream? And I look down, and she starts spraying the whipped cream on top of my iced coffee. She just yells out, iced coffee, whipped cream, yells it out. The other 4 people turn their back, like they don't want you to accidentally think that's what they ordered. And I'm just left alone, like, that's what you thought I said over there? You don't think I would have said iced coffee with whipped cream? You think I'm just some nut job? It's like, I've had too many problems in this Starbucks, so I'm only going to use the words that I want and no other words. Iced coffee, whipped cream cup. And they didn't have a top for it, so whipped cream, it doesn't sink and become less embarrassing. It moves. It's like a buoy in an ocean that everybody sees. I'm just walking through the crowd like, this is my favorite drink. I don't know if you guys drink this at all. Is anybody? Nobody does this? I'm surprised. And I walked outside and threw it away and tried again at a different Starbucks. All right, thank you, God. I can't thank you enough. You are unbelievable. I'm gonna let this one go by. I mean, like, you know, the hard part is I see them coming before y'all, and I mean, I just see a blinking, like, 5 miles away going, that one looks like it's coming. In my head, I'm just like, I think it's, you know. A couple times I've looked, and it was just stars. I like look up, and I'll be like, that one's not moving that quick. I feel like we're sitting on top of it. You're like, that's the moon. Is it? I went to community college for 1 year. I have 0 credits. Community college, a lot of people don't know, is college when they're like, you're probably going to stay in your community. So we're just going to show you the ropes around town. Kind of give you a lay of the land. That whole year, I don't have credits because I had to take all remedial classes, which remedial is basically they're classes for someone my age now trying to go back to school because they don't remember school. And I took them right out of school. They were like, you don't remember school? I was like, I just came from school. And they go, it looks like you've never heard about it. Everybody in there was like 50. I'm like, well, who's the teacher? I think you have to tell me if I ask, who's the teacher? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Unbelievable. So I'm Nate. Pretty lazy guy. I realized how lazy I was recently. I was watching a football game, and I was sitting on my couch, and I was going to get something to drink. Right when I get up to go, one team kicked off to the other team. Before I could get back, they ran a 100-yard kickoff return, and I missed it. Like, the guy ran 100 yards before I could get 3 to maybe 4 yards. That guy also had 11 people really trying not to let him run 100 yards. I had nobody. No one cared what I was doing. When you watch sporting events too, I feel like the commercials that they have, they're like advertising towards like professional athletes. Like they have like running shoes. They're like, oh, you should buy these shoes. Then it shows like an NFL player like running with a tire tied to his back. And you're like, all right, well, how do those shoes look with jeans and sitting down? Because that's how I will be using them. I got to get tire and a rope. That's a lot. That's a lot you're asking. Someone gave me an Under Armour shirt. Do you know those? It's like skin tight. Like it just shows the worst parts of your body. I look better without a shirt on than with that shirt on. Just brutal. You know, like in plastic surgery, how they draw like markers on you and stuff? Like they should just put you in that shirt and be like, obviously you can see where we're going to go after the target areas. I always tell people I got to get back in shape, but I mean, I've never been in shape. So most people are like, if I can get back to my 20s, I would have to go back to 7. Like if I could go back to when I was 7, I was killing it. For me, a good workout would be walking to McDonald's would be a great start. You know, maybe stand up and eat it, see if that does something. Instead, I ordered the P90X videos, thought I could do that. You know, never worked out a day in my life, so let's do what the Navy SEALs do. I did not do it. You know what made me order it? Like, you know in the commercial, you know they show like a before body and then an after body? I was like blown away by the before body. I thought that's what you get to look like. I was like, that guy looks great. Then I saw the after body and I was like, does the before body guy have a DVD? Because that guy looks more my speed, you know? Like, what did he do to get to that? And I'll just do that. Thank you. Thank you. No, come on. Thank you, guys. I signed up for a mixed martial arts class as well. Made it one day. That's it. Like they want you. It's about fighting, is what that class is about. I thought it was like some guys will maybe do like push-ups or something. The first day I go in, they just pair me up with some 16-year-old kid that wants to fight for a living and wasn't raised by human people. And they're like, why don't y'all just go at it? And I was like, well, I think it's because we have different goals. Maybe that's why we should not go at it. I believe he's training for the Hunger Games. I just want you to not be able to see my nipples through my shirt. So, yeah, levels. That MMA is a great way to protect yourself, though. I watched, here's another way, if you don't know how to fight. I watched a thing on 60 Minutes. They did this piece about buying tigers. Like, you can buy, like, if you guys want a tiger, I could get you in touch with a guy that can give you a pretty sweet deal on a tiger. 60 Minutes did this whole undercover report, and they filmed, like, where this guy keeps tigers, and then they interviewed him afterwards. They're like, hey, do you think it's too easy to buy a tiger in this country? And he was like, yeah, sadly it is. It's way too easy. And I was like, that was my favorite part, you know? Like, that shows why America's the best. I didn't even know you could buy tigers before I watched this. I would have been embarrassed to ask. And then I watched it, and I was like, I don't really have to jump through hoops if I want to buy a tiger. It's not an all-day thing. It's an hour. I'll be right back with our tiger. And everybody wants to get rid of guns, and what makes me nervous is, like, you took away guns from people, those are the exact same people that will buy tigers. And that's going to be a much bigger problem. You're probably going to be like, look, here's your gun back. And they'll be like, no, I'm good. My tiger is way better than my gun. My gun missed all the time. My tiger rarely misses. Even if he does miss, you know, even if he does miss, it's just for a second. It's never long. Like if some guy dodges the tiger and he's like, your dumb tiger missed, it's like, well, he did not. He is right behind you now. And he is furious. So thank you guys so much, man. You guys were great. If you go to Europe, just so you know, it's the most old. It's very old. You think we're old and you get there and you're like, good night. What have y'all been doing over here? You just walk around, they're like, that building is from 8. Good golly. On a sadder note of sorts, we had to put our dog down recently, and it's a tough thing to do. You know, nothing was wrong with her. I'm just really busy right now, and she was very sick. That was a joke. All right, that was a joke. She would have loved that joke, so don't you worry about it. That's the type of humor she had. She was a rescue. It's not your labradoodle humor, all right? A little darker. She was a wonderful dog. We loved her, and her name was Annie. And the reason we got her was my sister worked at a vet, and people do put dogs down for no reason. So if someone brought a dog in that was fine, they just didn't want it. My sister couldn't do it, so she would walk the dog back and then just steal the dog. I don't know the laws on all that, but I'm sure now people are finding out that their dog's still alive right now. So we got Annie. Annie was getting put down. She was a hunting dog, and she was terrible at it. And she was bred to be a hunting dog, and she was just like a misfit toy that just didn't do it. She got shot once, and that's because the guy, he would be doing target practice, and then she'd just walk in front of the targets, and he would hit her. He's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "What are you doing?" She had no awareness about her, the senses that dogs have. We had turkeys in our backyard once, and I let her out to go chase these turkeys. You know, retired hunting dog. Figured that's fun. And we have a very normal backyard. It's not Yellowstone Park. You can see all of it at all times. Push her out, and she just pees and then comes back in the house. Never sees the turkeys. And I'm just looking at her you didn't feel anything? Nothing was going? I sensed it as a human on the couch. I felt there was turkeys outside. You want to take just one lap around, see if... The guy used her a lot for duck hunting, so he would shoot a duck. She's supposed to run and go get it and then bring it back. So what I like to picture is he shoots the duck, she runs out, comes back, no duck. And she's like, "I don't even know what we're doing." All right, I did not. A million things flew in the air when you shot that gun, and I'm supposed to know which one you hit. And the guy's just looking at her, and then she's like, "You're not even the guy that I came out here with. Do you see? Is there another guy out here by any chance?" Thank you. It's gotten better. I still just meltdowns where I'll still go to McDonald's, went to a McDonald's, and I had to open my door one time because my window wasn't broke. That was pretty sad. That's sad for me and them. It's me and the McDonald's worker are all just what are we doing with our life? They shouldn't see your whole body in a drive-through window. They shouldn't, you just have to open it and you're and you just take all the food, and they see your shoes, and you're
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're I don't know, dude. I should have just not done it. The one day my window goes down every day on earth of my life. And the one day it doesn't, I'm well, I'll probably do a drive-through that day. And
you're glutton for punishment, man. That's terrible.
It's brutal.
That's terrible.
But I have better. I'm 43. 43, you still think you're young. You know, I'll hang out a 23-year-old, and I'm you get it, dude? We're just a couple young dudes kicking it. And some guy will be I'm 45. I'm beat it, old man. I can't believe that guy had the nerve to hang out. You know, let's go sit down a little bit. I went and got a physical, and after your 40s, I'll tell you, before 40, you go through a drive-through window. It's they're just you move your neck, and they're come on, man, you're wasting everybody's time, all right? Go live a life. And then you pass 40, and the doctor's you mind shutting that door behind you? You know, he's I'd lock it. We're about to get after it. And it was the first time I've ever been talked to old, and so it was just me and him. And he goes, "Do you pee a lot at night?" And I was did my dad just walk in the room? How old? You know, I've never peed at night in my life. I was how about pee till the sun goes down? But I did. I was but, you know, just so I know what is a lot, what is a big amount. And I'll tell you what, he's ruined me. I only pee at night now. I would love to pee during the day. My body's like, the day, we'll get it out tonight, don't worry. Here's what I'm doing for, my daughter's future environment is what I decided to do. They say we won't have water. So I put a bunch of buckets outside to collect water. And when she turns 18 and she's like, do I get money? Like, something a little better than money. Bet you've always wondered what those buckets were doing outside. Well, they're all yours. And that's for your kids and their kids. Everybody gets a bucket of water. No, look, guys, all seriousness, though, global warming, we gotta stop it. Or more of it. I don't really know which way we want to go, but it can't stay warmer. I know that. It's got to be one or, something's got to happen. Something can't stay where we're at. So go, I don't know what direction you want me to just go. Look, all seriousness, let's use this as a platform for global, guys. I felt like, as a spokesperson for all of Earth, all right? I think I'll give you a message that I don't think no one will give you, and I'm here to say that we're doing fine. So just relax. We're in a time where everybody yells at you and everybody's bad. We're doing great, all right? I did some research, and I was like, let me look at the other planets. Let's see how good they're doing. And I don't want to, it's unbelievable. They're nowhere right now. Some of them have too many moons. That's how stupid they are. And so let's calm down, all right? We're so much farther ahead. They haven't started and we're almost done. So let's celebrate being first. Don't be sore winners. One of the best fights we got in, the fight wasn't good, just ridiculous fight, was over the saying one fell swoop. Just over that saying. My wife and I, hold on, this is the last one. I just hear one in the background. Because you hear it from a far distance. And then it's like, he's going that way. Sound like he's going the other way, right? All right. Or like, we don't even hear it, and I'm just up here. Haunts me for the rest of my life. Every show, we're back and doing theaters, and I'm like, is that a helicopter? Do you guys hear a helicopter? Inside the building? I'm like, yeah, do you hear it? Does everybody hear it? Everybody get down. Everybody quiet down. Is that a helicopter in this? All right. So we got in the fight, phrase one fell swoop. Just over this saying. And if you're a newlywed, you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. You're right, it doesn't. This is a double-digit married fight. This is when you've already done all the dish fighting or the putting your clothes away fighting. This is when they're trying to mentally break you. They got you almost how they want you, and this is the one that sends it over the edge. My wife, she wanted to go visit her parents one weekend, and her parents are divorced, and which has been hardest on me, to be honest. That's something people don't talk about, When you marry into divorce, they divorced because of her, not me, so why do I have to go to 50 different houses? So she wanted to visit her parents and shit. I want to do it in one fell swoop. Now, I've never heard my wife say the phrase one fell swoop. We've been together 20 years. She's never said it. And it felt like someone that day told her, hey, you should start using one fell swoop more. And she goes, I'm about to call my husband. And goes, perfect. Use it 40 to 50 times on him. So she calls me and she goes, I want to go visit my parents. And I want to do it in one fell swoop. And I go, all right, let's do it in one fell swoop. She goes, I want to do it in one fell swoop. I go, do it in one fell swoop, Let's swoop it up. I'm down. And she kept saying it, one fell swoop, one fell swoop. Over and over again. And then when she went to describe this one fell swoop trip, she goes, we'll go to my mom's, come home, then go to my dad's. And so I just waited, and she didn't say anything, and I just go, that's not what one fell swoop means. Instead of possibly just being wrong, she goes, I know what fell swoop means. I go, yeah, it doesn't sound like you do, all right? And we have the same last name. I can't have you out there in a one fell swoop conversation. What do you think 2 birds, 1 stone mean? Let's just go through them all. I don't know if you know any of these. She hangs up on me. So I get home, and you know when you walk home and you've been in a fight, and you're like, all right, how long is this fight? Is it happening still? Is it over? I don't know. I got to fill it out, you know? She never uses words like sorry. I'd love to hear that. I mean, that's a word she definitely doesn't know what it means. And I say it all the time. I walk around the house with just a sack of just handing them out all day. I try to give her some, like, would you like to carry some of these? She's like, I don't have pockets, so I'm good. We didn't talk that whole night. I mean, we're just sitting there, our daughters, like, we're watching TV, eating, and I'm like, hey, you know your mom's crazy, right? And then she's like, did you do your homework, or you don't want to be dumb like your dad? And then your daughter's just like, are y'all lunatics? So I'm laying on the couch, and my wife she kisses me goodnight, and then she went to bed. And that was it, you know? That was like, I felt like it was her sorry, I guess. But she didn't say it. It's laid there, and I'm just thinking about it. And you think about it a lot because you're like, all right. Because you learn the longer you get married, sometimes it's like, just let stuff go. You know, who cares? The next morning, I get up, and I kind of still wanted to talk about it. We didn't talk all night, you know? So I went into her, I was like, look, I got to tell you, I mean, it's just not what it means, you know? And that got it going real good. But I'm so good about this argument, you know? I thought about it all night. I was like, you got this one in the bag, man. You should bring it up. I'm not trying to date her anymore. I'd like to win a fight. We're going to die together. I almost woke her up in her sleep. That's how much I was so excited. I almost just started shaking her going, it's not what it means. Our marriage almost ended in one fell swoop. So I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I was a kid in the 80s and 90s. And in the 80s and 90s, kids were getting kidnapped pretty rapidly. And look, I'm not trying to say we were more desirable or something. I think we were outside more. A lot more opportunity, you know? It's a lot easier to get us into vans. Didn't take much. And so parents back then, they would watch TV, and I think it would scare the parents. You know, you realize now everything's a crime show. Everything that you watch is crime, podcasts are crime, movies are crime. You almost like see it so much. But back then, you only had so many channels. And then when they would watch these shows, they were very powerful shows. My parents used to watch a show called Rescue 911. And it would just show reenactments of crimes. It was powerful. I've seen 3 seconds of Rescue 911. I remember walking through the living room. My parents are watching it. I look at the TV. A guy has a ski mask on, and a woman is asleep with her feet out from under the covers, and he started rubbing her foot. That's all I saw. I don't know what happened before or after, but I know I've never been with my feet out from under the covers because I accidentally saw that 30 years ago. And my feet get so hot, and I want to put them out so bad. I'm going to try it every night for 30 years. And then that image pops in my head, and I yank them right back under. I'll be in a hotel room, and I'm like, look, you can't get in here, dude. You've locked everything. And I'm like, that's exactly what he's been waiting for. He's probably already in here. So I will never go through that process to get my name changed, so I just deal with it. And it gets brought up. Once I was checking a bag, and the guy by the counter, he sees my ticket says Nathan, the license says Nathaniel. He was like, this is not good. He goes, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? Like, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. He was like, but they're not the same. I was like, but they're the same. And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point because, I mean, he can't handle that. He's gonna call the police over to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fly right here. If you guys want to just shoot him from over there or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? He goes, you should go home. That's all I got. He's like, I can't believe you've made it this far. I was like, let me just try it, you know? Shouldn't I try it? I said, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is going to help a ton is the picture on the ID. Something that I've always loved that they did. And I think with 70% of that name matching and 100% face. 170%. I think I'll get through it. And this is what he told me. This is honestly what he said. He goes, look, man, I get it, all right? He's trying to relate to me. And he was like, my name's Joseph. That's what's on my license. So I can't buy a ticket under my nickname Bart. They're not gonna let me through. He said it like, right? Like, do you know what, does that make sense? And I was like, that doesn't at all. Those are two different names, all right? You should be over there and you should be over here because that's how you're treating me. Like I'm a Joseph Bart. I made it through. And on that trip, I was going to Seattle. And if you've ever been to Seattle, Mount Rainier is near Seattle. That's what they call it that. And I don't know if that's true, just so y'all, it felt like y'all took that like, yeah. So we were going out to Mount Rainier, and I was with a buddy of mine. And Mount Rainier is it's the third biggest mountain in America. It's a good one to go to. I don't know who number one or number two is, but maybe one day it will be number one, you know? Do mountains keep growing? I don't think we know that yet. It's a good time to see it. It doesn't have the attitude of a one or a two. I took a typing class in 7th grade. That's how... And I thought it was a waste of my time. In my head, I was like, who's gonna be typing? Cursive is the future. That's why I like, there's the future. I don't know what's going on. I don't know technology. I don't know what AI is. I don't think you get to know what AI is and also see a donkey jump off a high dive. I think it was one or the other. And I saw the donkey, so I'm out. If I send an email and it says the file is too big, I don't know what to do. My best guess is I try to resend it. That's what I try to do. You know how dumb that is? The computer's like, no. And I go, what about now, though? I pulled a muscle recently. I guess it was in my soul. I mean, it was dead middle of my body. I thought it was the front, and then I was like, well, that back hurts too, you know, so. Well, what's in the middle? What muscle is in the middle? I took a typing class in 7th grade. That's how. And I thought it was a waste of my time. In my head, I was like, who's gonna be typing? Cursive is the future. That's why I like, there's the future. I don't know what's going on. I don't know technology. I don't know what AI is. I don't think you get to know what AI is and also see a donkey jump off a high dive. I think it was one or the other. And I saw the donkey, so I'm out. If I send an email and it says the file is too big, I don't know what to do. My best guess is I try to resend it. That's what I try to do. You know how dumb that is? The computer's like, no. And I go, what about now, though? So we get our picture and we come back down and we're driving back. And on the way back, since my buddy was driving, he did not see the dead horse, you know? I'm like, well, you can't not see it. So it's just one road. And I was like, I'll just show you where it's at. So we're driving and we get to it. I was like, it's right here. And I pointed and the horse was standing up doing unbelievable. One of the healthier horses that I've ever seen. I learned that horses lay down to sleep. I did not know that. I don't know what I thought before that day. I don't know. That they lock their knees. That's why they have 4 knees. I don't know. That's what I would have probably argued with you about it. People put signs up that say, like, horses lay down, don't call 911, because people call the police. They drive by a horse laying down in some guy's yard, and they're like, y'all guys should go, like, deal with that. And they're like, some people knock on people's door. Hey, is your dad home? Your horse died outside. And I thought you should hear it from a stranger first. I pulled a muscle recently. I guess it was in my soul. I mean, it was dead middle of my body. I thought it was the front, and then I was like, well, that back hurts too, you know, so. Well, what's in the middle? What muscle is in the middle? Thank you, everybody. It was unbelievable. I mean, all right, I don't know. I've done comedy for a while. I've done a lot of different shows. They're not, they're not as all exciting as the Tonight Show. I did one in a prison once, like in it, like all the way in it. Like we went to them. Like I didn't like meet them out, you know. So we go in. Let's say you guys are the inmates. So I'm sitting here. I'm like doing my dumb jokes. None of it works. Every joke I have involves being outside in the past 30 years. Like. I'm like, traffic's crazy. You guys remember, people remember traffic here, right? So I'm doing my dumb jokes, and then an inmate gets up and starts walking towards me. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. You know, like he's going to use me to break out. And I don't want to point at him, but no one's like looking, but I am using hand gestures. And like, what do you guys do on this side of the room? Should he be walking up like that? Turns out the bathrooms are behind me. He's a good guy. I judged him on what he was wearing and where we were at. It was my fault. So I'm like against a brick wall. And it's like goes like halfway up, and then the urinals are like all behind here. So then he comes to use the bathroom, and then he comes to the urinal right behind me. So then it's just me and him just looking at everybody, and he peed. He peed without even it was the most confidence I've ever seen in my entire life. I thought, whatever you think this guy did it, all right? That's not, an innocent man doesn't pee like that. That's a guilty, I'm not getting out. I took social media off my phone. I don't, it's too much. Like you just, you walk around and just look at it all day. Facebook, they did a good job. It's a real good company. And Facebook's just too much. It's either everybody's best or worst days of their life. You know, like you're either like, I'm getting married or my house is on fire. No one's like, today's normal. Nothing happened. I have no strong opinions about anything. My wife gets mad because she was like, you don't like any of my photos on Facebook. And it's like, is this not enough? Like us just being married and living together? It's like, how much, and I did like it. When we took it, I said, I like that photo. Like I told you that. I'm in the photo. There's not much more than I can do in this photo's life. We've been married for 10 years, and we still fight. Like when you're married, fighting is open 24 hours, anytime. We got in a fight recently at 3 a.m. We woke up to get in this fight, and we live in Nashville, and we have a dog that freaks out when it thunders. So it was like thundering. So we have sedatives to give her because there's only so many times you can tell a dog it's just thunder before you're like, just take this. Hope this works. I'm not going to hold you through it, So I wake up
and I had asked my wife, I was like, hey, where are the sedatives at? And she was like, they're at the top of the cabinet. So I go get them. When I get them, I looked at the bottle, and the bottle said they were expired. So I had to like wake her back up, and I was like, hey, these say they're expired. And she was like annoyed. She was like, they're not expired. Those are new pills in an old pill bottle. And I was like, all right, you know, I should have thought of that. That's my fault. People come to our house all the time and they get milk and they're like, is this milk expired? And I have to go, that's new milk in an old milk jug. Are you the stupidest person I've ever met in my life? How could you not figure that out? That's basically what I told her. It wasn't as fun as that, you know, but that was the gist. And instead of just saying, you're right, that's a logical statement, she dives all in and tells me it doesn't matter because dog medicine can't even expire, which she's never even heard a rumor about that. She doesn't know that. We don't know any dog medicine people. I know who she knows, and we don't know one dog medicine maker that's like texting her like, let me tell you a little secret about dog medicine. We've invented medicine that can't expire. All right, thank you guys so much.
One of my favorite ones was, this was forever ago. We're going to a friend's house, and it was a 4-flight walk up. And so 4 flights. Obviously, I walk faster than Nick, and I used to wait for him, but we've just been friends too long. I can't. We're like an old married couple. I'm just gone. So I knew where we were going, and I knew that he did not. So I leave him, and I go into my buddy's apartment. I was like, Nick doesn't know where you live, so that's fun, you know. Just see what happens. About 30 minutes go by. Nick finally comes into the apartment, and I asked him, I was like, where were you? He goes, I didn't know where to go. And I go, I know. So, like, you've been gone for a long time. You know, did you go back outside? He goes, I've been in someone else's apartment all this time. He went into someone's, he was just trying handles. And the door opened, he walked in, said, I'm with Nate, and went and sat on their couch. That's how far he made it. Think about where your couch is. That's how deep he made it into their place. And he's so confident. I mean, they had to be like, I don't know, maybe we know a Nate, you know? I've been doing these drive-in shows, these movie theater shows, and my buddy Nick Novicki's been with me, and Nick's a little person, very fun. We started comedy together. It's very fun to be friends with. He very easy to trick. We were once at a coffee shop, and I was sitting near us with a big husky dog, and Nick just goes, hey, you think that's a wolf? And I just said, yeah, I do think it's a wolf. They just passed a law that if you can catch a wolf, you can have it as a pet. And he goes, should I go ask him about it? I was like, I mean, absolutely, you know? I mean, he wants to talk about it. That's why he brought that wolf out here. And I watched him walk over to him and just go, excuse me, is that a wolf? And the guy, I mean, he didn't really know how to answer it. He said, what? I mean, you think I brought a wild wolf to this coffee shop? And the wolf's just being cool about it? It's not losing its mind right now? She runs everything. She does stuff, doesn't tell. We got a new roof, and I did not know that. A whole new roof. I found out from my neighbors. They were like, how's that new roof going? I go, I don't know what you're talking about. And they go, you didn't know you got a new roof? I go, no, I did not. And then I had to go get her. You're not going to talk to them about that new roof you didn't tell me about. I look like an idiot out there. I don't think things through. That's the message tonight, guys. There's no message. But if there was, it's I don't think things through. No. I'm a huge Vanderbilt fan, and I think a couple of us, you know, it's a storm is coming together. I did not go to Vanderbilt too. Vanderbilt asked me to say that, and I was like, I think people know, and they go, we do too, but just say it also. Vanderbilt went to their first bowl game in football in like 20 years, in 2008. And so we all go to it. We're very excited. It's at Tennessee Titans Stadium. So me and a bunch of buddies get together. We go tailgate. We get cornhole, a grill. Like we're going all out. And my ticket was at will call. So I was like, look, I got to go get my ticket. I'll be right back. So I go get my ticket. And before the lady gives it to me, she ripped it, which means you have to go in. And it was, I mean, a full 3 hours before the game starts. I was like, I don't want to go in yet, you know? And she's like, you have to go. And I just walked in to just an empty stadium, 60,000 empty seats. I go to my seat. I don't even just go to a different, I went to like the one I'm supposed to go to, like a loser. The players are like in jeans. They're not even dressed yet. I was like, I'm real excited for the game. I like startled them. They're like, oh, I didn't even know anybody was in here. Did you go to Vandy? I was like, you would think with how early I'm here, but I also think if I went to Vandy, I wouldn't be in the situation that I'm in. I walked to the top of the stadium and just watched my friends I just set up at the very top. And I was like, I'm already in, guys. Yeah, I decided to save our numbered seats. Nothing was open. I stood in front of a concession stand like I was waiting for an iPhone to come out. Just that gate was down. I'm just like already trying to figure out what I'm gonna eat. And they came and opened it, and one side got stuck, and I helped them. I go, I'll get that. So I helped them open it. They're like, oh, do you work here? I was like, I've been here a little bit longer than you have. So I had jet lag there. I did not mind it because I woke up early. I woke up at 5:45 a.m. and I don't ever wake up that early. So I was like first in line at the breakfast buffet. Here's what I will tell you. When you get up at 5:45 a.m., noon is pretty far away. I mean, we'll bet your life it's noon and it's maybe 8:30. By 6 p.m., it's like, how are people out? Why won't the sun go down? That's the next phase of my life. I'm getting up early, you know. We're getting up at 9:15, a little bit. Yeah, I've never seen my daughter go to school, but I've been close. Marriage fights are great because they're all very dumb. I would say 90% of them are dumb. 10% the cops show up. But we got in a fight once over chocolate milk. We didn't talk for 24 hours. What happened is I brought chocolate milk home, and she was like, why did you bring it home? And I was like, you're supposed to drink it after you work out. And she was like, that's not true. And I was like, there's a commercial on TV that probably looked into it more than you did. So I decided to listen to them. And she said, that's just the milk people pushing chocolate milk. And I was like, you don't even know what that statement means. You don't know if there's milk people. And I think chocolate milk's doing fine. I don't think they're sitting on barrels of it. And they're like, we got to make up a lie. We got to get rid of this chocolate milk. She went to college, all right, and I did not. But she did not study chocolate milk. When is it good and not good for you? The dumbest I've ever been talked to, I like to golf. And so a guy was telling me there's a real golf course in North Carolina where they have llamas or the caddies. So if you don't know anything about golf, I mean, you know, a caddy usually carries your bag around, tells you how far you are from the hole, and helps you out. So this course, the llamas. So you put your golf bag on a llama, and it carries your bag. So he told me that, and then he looks into my big, dumb eyes, and he goes, just so you know, llamas can't talk, though. I mean, that's the question he was trying to get ahead of as he looked into my stupid eyes. Like, he's like, I'm going to say it so that guy doesn't have to say it. I'm just at the zoo talking to the giraffes, just, hey, where are you guys from, you know? I know where you're from, but where are you from? You know what I mean? Look, in all seriousness, I don't know. No, look, the it's getting very advanced, all right? I've been to a dog bakery. I've been to a dog bakery in my life. And this wasn't in, Beverly Hills or like Miami or something. You feel like they would have something like that. And this was in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And if you don't know where Mount Juliet is, it's fine, but I bet you can tell that doesn't sound like a town you would drive through. I bet they have a pretty good dog bakery here. I went in there, and no one was in there. The lady was looking at me like, are you here to buy this store for me? That was her only hope. I talked to her. She had some time on her hand, excited to talk. And her and her husband bought the store for their 27-year-old daughter who graduated from college with a degree and came out of college and said, I want to own a dog bakery. I want to make cakes for dogs. If I asked my 6-year-old what she wants to do when she grows up, I think she'll tell me she wants to make cakes for dogs. And I'm going to tell her that she can do whatever she wants to do, hoping she doesn't turn 27 and go, let's talk about those cakes for those dogs. Maybe they're usually busy. Maybe I was on there on a slow dog birthday day. I don't know, all right? She told me everything was organic, and I was like, that's good. That's what I like to hear, all right? This is for that dog that's outside licking gum off the sidewalk right now. And if anybody deserves organic food in our house, this little girl, I'm not gonna waste it on her. It's for that dog that's wandered out on the highway because it doesn't know what cars are. But look, next time you guys go to Mount Juliet for vacation, let me tell you, look, do them a favor, go by there, all right? Swing through, buy some dog cakes. And I'll be honest with you, I'll be up front with you guys. I bought a dog bakery, it's not going that good, all right? We're almost done, so don't worry about it. And I think you can tell. I always think people they're like, he's talking about dog bakeries, he's about out of stuff. Where is this going? She's the cheaper one of us as well. Not in a bad way, She likes the lights being off. Turn the lights off, Save money. Get the little lights off. It's a fun time being in that environment. Turn the light on, find your seat, get a stick, knock the light back off. Sit in the dark and be sad. And you're sad all day. You're saving nickels upon nickels. Right when I get in bed, you turn that light off, I can't tell that's on. Well, get out of bed, turn it off. 80 years, we'll give our daughter $37 from all the nickels we saved. One of the days, I don't know the day, but it's a day. We do it, there is one day. I know we forgot to take it out a couple weeks ago. That stress could break up a family. All week was like, everybody eat out of your hands. We had friends over like, put your trash in your pockets, take it to your homes. Me and my wife, so I'm the dreamer of our group. I feel like in a marriage, you have one is a dreamer, money's not real. Let's have fun. Let's go do fun stuff as much as we can. And the other person hates fun. And that's how you make a marriage. You can't have two dreamers, you're gonna be homeless in an hour. Someone that just walks around, is fun happening? I'd like to put a stop to that. Are y'all having fun? Stop it. Is the air conditioner on? Turn it off. I married my dad, is who I married. My dad, who thought air conditioning cost $100,000 a day to run it. When we would be on car rides, I thought if you turned it on, your car exploded. Like just gas, you were out. We're out immediately. Did someone turn the air conditioner on? We went to Europe last year. Europe's very old. That's what I learned last time in Europe.
like, because you think we're old as a country, and you get there and you're like, good night. You know, how long have y'all been over here? Australia, very far away. Farther than I thought. Our Earth, a little bigger than I thought it was. And I think we should have went the other way as well, but the pilot had different plans. I had jet lag there. I did not mind it because I woke up at 5:45 a.m. and I don't ever wake up that early. So it was like a new life, you know? I was like first in line at the breakfast buffet. Here's what I'll tell you. If you get up at 5:45 a.m., noon is pretty far away, though. I mean, I thought you bet your life, and it's maybe 8:30. Like, 6 p.m., you're like, I don't know how people are out.
How are they doing this?
What are they doing? Why won't the sun go down?
I'm not smart at all. I'm smart enough to like answer my 6-year-old's questions. He's like, why is the sun hot? I'm like, 'cause it's on fire. That's a stupid question. And I tell her that, all right, because I know that she'll be smarter than me next year and then just for the rest of her life. So I am really sticking it to her while I can. I know nothing about like adult stuff that you're supposed to know about. Global warming, that's one that everybody yells at you about. And they're like, you better do something. I'm like, I'm so tired of it, let's do it. I'm like, I barely made it out of high school. I don't really know how rain works. So why don't you let me figure that out, and then I'll do global warming, you know? But I've seen it rain without clouds. Where's that water coming from? So I'm pretty swamped with this rain stuff right now, but once I get to the bottom of that, I'm gonna do global warming, and I've got some pretty good ideas, you know?
Another one, PETA had to shut down. This was, again, like the 1980s. I was alive. You could fight an orangutan at a fair. They would have an orangutan just sitting in a boxing ring, and guys would pay to fight it. And I say guys because I just can't imagine one woman ever fought this orangutan. I think you could put an orangutan in a room with 1,000 women. And when they walked out, they're like, did anybody fight it? But it never crossed our mind to fight it. Hotels are getting futuristic. A lot of hotels, when I stay at, now when you take a shower, they have half a glass. So it's open, so the water gets on the floor. Because that's the future. They want water on the floor. And I'm old and dumb. We really try to keep the water inside the tub. It was a pretty big deal. But now, they want the floors wet. That's what they want. They want to do no glass, but I'm still alive, so they're like, all right, do half a glass. Once that guy's gone, we'll do no glass, floors are wet, drains off the balcony. And wives are the ones that keep it together the longest in a relationship. If you see an old married couple, like 80-year-old, they're 80, the wife is she's with it, and her husband, where are we at right now? Our brains fall off a cliff, dude. The only reason he's out is because she's like, you better get out and let people see you a little bit. It's like some zookeeper walking some old gorilla around. Let the kids touch you. Everybody's trying to don't feed him that. Well, I think he wants it. He definitely wants it. He's too dumb to know he can't have it. Recently, I was walking in my car, and I had a college kid come up, and he was raising money, for nature, or it was for Earth. It was nature and Earth. I don't know. He used real words, but it was, basically, I felt even, and he looked at me and he's like, it's going to Earth. And I was like, yeah, well, Earth is going through it right now. So he was telling me everything Earth is going through. It's pollution. He said our water's being poisoned. I said, not under my watch, but I understand. She runs everything. She does stuff, doesn't tell. We got a new roof, and I did not know that. A whole new roof. I found out from my neighbors. They were like, how's that new roof going? I go, I don't know what you're talking about. And they go, you didn't know you got a new roof? I go, no, I did not. And then I had to go get her. You gotta go talk to them about that new roof you didn't tell me about. I look like an idiot out there.